All right. Welcome. Excited to be here with client Lesley. Talk about her results. We've been working together for the last 2 months, 3 months, I think. Sounds about right.
Yeah, like
Um,
2 months.
awesome. So, Lesley, just tell us a little bit about you, what you do, and where you were at before we started working together.
Hi there. Yeah, it's Dominic said I'm Leslie. I work in advertising, and the reason I started working with Dominic was like I was tired of just trying to do things on my own, figuring things out on my own, and I just felt like I needed some extra motivation, and having someone sort of guiding you along the way is really helpful. And I feel like Dominic has been doing that, helping me when I have questions, telling me when I can do certain things to improve, and just really being like a good guide along my journey to building muscle and losing weight.
That's great. We love to hear that. So, before we started working together, what were you doing in terms of exercise and nutrition?
I was doing about like 4 times a week kickboxing, either walking or running like 1 or 2 other days. Not really doing that much like weightlifting, maybe doing a little bit of like strengthening exercises, but really a lot of heavy cardio. And I was just feeling really exhausted afterwards. Like I felt like energized when I did it, but I just felt like I was putting a lot of strain on my body.
Yeah, I think we when we first started working together, um, we did our first initial kind of assessment in terms of where we were at with our calories and macros. If I'm remembering correctly, you were probably around like 1,200 calories a day. Does it sound like
Yeah,
where you were at?
I wasn't eating enough, I think.
Yeah. Okay. So you're 1,200 calories, doing a lot of intense kind of cardio style workouts, boot camp, kickboxing. I mean, sorry. Um, and so leaving you kind of unenergized after the fact and down. And then after we started working together, what would you say was kind of your biggest challenge to kind of break through switching from that kickboxing mentality and restrictive dieting mentality?
Yeah, I think it was weird not having as many of these, like, high intensity workouts, like, that was strange getting used to, and obviously, like, feeling that I could only eat certain things, that was something, like, it became sort of like a habit, and then, like, I feel like that sort of also led to bad habits, like, I was doing, like, a lot of late night snacking before, and I feel like I don't do it as much, or if I have something, it's definitely healthier than probably what I was having before, um and, like, for me, the whole, like, strength training, weightlifting, workouts, some of those were very new to me, so that was a challenge just kinda getting my body used to it, but it's been really rewarding because I feel like I've been able to do things that, like, I never imagined I'd be capable of, so it's pretty cool.
Yeah, and you've definitely been a ideal client. You send in your form videos, we review them weekly on our calls, and you instantly take that feedback and you go and you fix it and everything's better. So it's definitely a testament as well to you and the effort that you're putting in. So kudos to you for sure.
Thank you.
Did you have any sort of like doubts or fears before we started working together, or what made you kind of want to say yes to joining the program?
I mean, I think all of it I could say yes to. I definitely had my doubts and fears. I mean, like anybody else probably sort of in this process, you never know like what's legit, what's not legit, like I found you through Instagram and I saw like you had a lot of good success stories and you seem to have a lot of good things to say, but it's not until you start working with someone that you really kind of get to know like, okay, this is something that's probably going to work and going to benefit me. Um, but I was definitely excited because I was like, I'm ready. I'm ready to take this journey on. And, some people say, oh, I want to do it, but they don't really sign up for it. They think about it. They say maybe yes. But I was just like, no, you have to be serious. If you're serious, and I think you can really get things done.
Yeah, absolutely. And like you said, especially, finding people on Instagram, there's so many things out there and so much information out there that like, you could easily, you know, go find the information, try to piece it together. But I think one of the biggest things with coaching, and I feel like you've probably experienced this, is that accountability, someone to kind of guide you when you're unsure, like, am I doing this right? Am I going down the right path? Someone that's been there and worked with others similar to you to get results. So that's definitely one of the benefits of coaching as well is that accountability piece and someone to make sure you're showing up and doing things right and shortcutting the process as well. Not just, we're showing up weekly or daily on our own and not really sure where we're going and wasting, months or years. So
Definitely.
we've been together now, I want to say 12 weeks. I think we're around the 3 month mark. What kind of results have you achieved, both, either scale or waist? And aside from those, because, as we talk as one of my clients, those aren't always the most important things. But what results have you achieved in addition to that as well?
Well, I've lost an inch in my waist, which is pretty exciting. I didn't know if I would see that anytime soon. So that's been really like rewarding. I feel like I'm stronger. I notice more muscle definition. My energy levels are higher. I mean, I feel like my weight's fluctuating a little bit, but I know that's sort of like the process. But figure if my waist is going down, my energy levels are higher, and my muscles are building up, then I feel like it's working. And I definitely can. Like you said, I'm a testament to that because I'm doing the work. I'm listening to what you have to say, and I feel like the results are showing.
Great. Yeah, I know a lot of women that I talk to or work with are usually hesitant around lifting weights because they think it's going to make them bulky.
Yeah.
But in your experience so far, training in the gym, what has that kind of done for you and like your confidence? You feel stronger in your body. Do you feel more confident going to the gym now? Talk to me a little bit about that.
Yeah, my confidence levels have definitely soared up. I feel like I can lift heavier. Like I'm not so worried about doing a certain exercise. I feel like prior to starting my work with you, like I look at some machines and be like, I'm not doing that. Like I have no idea how to do it. And now that like I've been practicing, I've been watching the videos you send me and taking like your advice on how to improve my form. Like I feel like now I'm like, I can do that, like I don't it's not an issue for me. Like maybe I won't be lifting the heaviest quite yet, but like I feel like I'm building up my strength and I've, done things like I said, I never imagined and that's been a huge achievement for me.
Yeah, no, that's great. It's one of those things, once you do it, you're like, this is easy. I shouldn't have been nervous to begin with. And I think anybody watching this or thinking about it, getting stronger, female or not female, is definitely something that's great to have, both, long term longevity, just for, bone mass and muscle mass, and then just being able to do things on a daily basis. I know like you have a son, so, lifting them or playing with them as they get older and heavier isn't as much of a chore. So doing things like that and being strong in those movements and different planes of motion is critical, especially for I think for parents, especially as they have kids that are growing and aging. So I know we've focused mostly so far about exercise and nutrition. What about sleep? I know we've talked a little bit about that, working together and some things that we could do to improve sleep. And obviously, the parents watching this can attest to probably what you're experiencing with your son and waking up in the night. But how has your sleep improved, or strategies that we've discussed helped kind of improve your sleep? Because that's one of the other big factors when it comes to fat loss that I think a lot of people overlook or under prioritize because
Yeah.
they're so focused on eating or the workouts that sleep, which is probably, one of the other big rocks to move, um, is really under prioritized. So how has your sleep improved, or what kind of strategies have you implemented to help with that?
Yeah, I mean, I think that, my sleep has improved a bit, it's a process, so I don't expect it to be, like, great overnight, but I feel like when I do fall asleep, my sleep is deeper now, like, I feel like it doesn't take me long to fall asleep. Like before, it would take me like close to like an hour. Like I don't know if it was because I was thinking about stuff or too much light or whatnot, but it would take me a really long time. And I feel like now, regardless of what time it is, it's a little bit easier. And I've been taking magnesium, which I feel like calms my mood. I do that usually before I go to bed. Um, and yeah, I mean, I see improvements, and before, like, because I was doing all those intense workouts, like, I feel like I'd be sore a lot, and it would be hard, I think, also to fall asleep because my muscle was were hurting so much, and I feel like now because I'm working them out differently and sort of in a more effective way, like, I don't feel as much pain when I'm going to bed. I mean, I have the lower back pain just because that's a strain of, like, probably carrying my son and whatnot, um, but, uh but yeah, I feel a huge difference in terms of, like, not having that soreness that I had before.
That's great. And I think we haven't talked about this too much, you and I, but I'm curious to hear how has your, strength and increased energy and getting better sleep and just confidence overall, how's that been, impacting people around you or your family or your relationship with your family?
Yeah, I think my family can definitely see sort of, like, my energy levels, like, my husband and my son, they see that, like, I'm not as, like, overexhausted from these crazy workouts I was doing, and I'm sleeping a little more, when I can, obviously,
Yeah.
it's a cycle, it goes up and down, but,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, I think it's had positive impacts for sure on my family and my relationships with them.
That's great. Well, I think we're at the end, but before we go, what would you say to anybody that might be on the fence about joining the program and working with me?
I'd say don't hesitate. You should sign up because you would be making some big positive impacts towards your health, your well being. I feel like it's made a huge difference for me, just taking that serious approach, really taking it to heart and, listening to what you have to say and making those adjustments when needed. So, yeah, I strongly recommend, people should sign up and work with you.
Awesome. Well, thanks, Leslie. Again, you've been an incredible client. So
Thank you.
just a testament to you putting in the work. No matter, no matter what coach someone works with, we can't show up and do the workouts for you or
Yeah.
eat the food for you. So it is really a two-way relationship with a coach and a client. So you've been awesome to work with. And I think a lot of the success obviously goes to you and your dedication. So great job. And
Thank you.
thanks for the interview.
Appreciate it. Excited to see what comes next.
Yeah. All right. Thanks.